Welcome to Unity Life, Sacred Teachings and Mystery School.
Welcome to the 16 Keys Support Tool. These are valuable concept models. Like a prototype, a concept model is a work of art designed to help you clarify what is best or what is realistic. In 2017, I witnessed a series of incredible miracles. I saw a candle manifest out of thin air right before my eyes, as well as a lighter. The right half of my jade plant disintegrated into a shriveled, dry husk in about 3 seconds, and my ears and lips dramatically changed shape and size in the mirror, then changed back. In response to these life-changing events, I developed these models of how miracles would work out globally without conflict or destruction if this amazing potential of the nature of reality was freely released. Hello and welcome to Key 13, Joinings. The longer version of this title, which it used to be called, is Master Creatorship, Bard of Joinings, within and between species. The ability to impeccably transfigure mythic, fully detailed life forms. Today I'm wearing my Allison Gray yoga top underneath of my black dress. I wear it because Allison Gray has been among the most inspirational artists that I have come across regarding this topic of the new earth and biological form. And in every video, I always have my Allison Gray art blanket of order. This topic is very advanced and requires of the audience at least the ability to read deeply into the personalities and characteristics of life. In human life, joinings can happen between individual human beings, whereas largely in animal and plants, this would be between species. A joining is where only the most high-quality genetic, and I mean characteristic aspects of both people, for example, with a joining of two people, are contributed into an extremely synergistic and evolutionary merging into one. Joinings are the merging of more than one life form into one. Of the two, only one will remain, transformed to represent them both, including selectively both past histories, yet retaining the original name and identity, usually the visual appearance, as well as their original past, as normally the main branch. In a joining of many to one, added past histories can be lightly regarded when that's the best ideal. The continuation of consciousness is experienced by the body who will not remain. It is like changing locations and suddenly, or gradually and suddenly, experiencing a new merged reality, which includes memories of the past body, but puts them into revolutionary new context with the joining. So one person disappears and the other remains, but the person who disappears has the unbroken experience of simply changing locations. The disappearance into thin air of the one person is the last step after a preparation of extreme transfiguration of both. Both people will go through in-depth genetic evolutionary changes to prepare for the joining first, realizing the content of the joining before one of them disappears. The disappearance into thin air is covered in Key 8, dematerialization of material into thin air, from existence into nothing. This is not a death of any kind, rather simply a continuation of consciousness. It's the most healthy and optimal way to go through a joining, to do it with Key 4 so that you can recognize that death is an illusion and transcend the illusions of death that might come up as a construct about your jump or your change, however you would phrase it. However, it is possible to go through a joining without Key 4. There are some situations that I could think of in which this key could be used in order to save someone who is on the brink of death so that their life could continue, so that their parents don't have to grieve for them, And if it was a small child, for example, who doesn't have key 4, they would be able to adjust. It's just not the ultimate ideal. Sometimes animal or plant species may do best to go through a joining. There are a lot of very degraded genetic species on our planet, and looking at some species, you see that just by their body makeup, they are suffering quite a bit and going through a lot of difficulty. So the notion of joinings is very good for great healings, and this might involve quite a bit more transformation at the time of the joining than merely the content of the joining itself. For example, a number of dog species who suffer a lot with breathing problems because of misshapen snout, who have difficulties with their health, or who have problems, damage to their psychology due to improper breeding, and so forth, they could all join into one, but then the whole entire species could also have more genetic information added, so they would become a very powerful being, which is pretty different from any of the species that were before, but this could just heal so much in the genetics of animals and plants. In that sense, a lot of new medicines could be created in the plant world as well. I want to thank you so much for taking the time for this key. I know that it's been complex, so please definitely comment with your questions if anything is not entirely clear to you or if you're having difficulty visualizing it. Thank you and have a beautiful day.